Everyone is talking about the Bharat coking coal IPO right now, but most investors are reacting to the noise, not the signal. And that's where panic decisions usually begin. There is excitement, rumors, and a lot of chaotic chatter around the GMP. Some say this is a guaranteed listing pop, others are already calling it overhype. But before you get pulled into this unsettling mix of optimism and fear, let's slow down and look at what actually matters. Bharat Coking Coal Limited, a subsidiary of Coal India, is set to enter Dalal Street with its IPO opening from January 9th to January 13th. This is a book-built issue worth around 1071 crore rupee. And importantly, this entire IPO is an offer for sale. That means no fresh money is coming into the company. This detail often gets lost in the excitement, but it changes how long-term investors should think. The price band for this IPO is kept between 21 rupee and 23 rupee per share, and the shares are expected to list on both NSE and BSE around January 16th. Now here's where the real market buzz is coming from. As of January 5th, the grey market premium for this IPO was around 16.5 rupee. Based on the upper price band, that puts the expected listing price close to 39.5 rupee. That's an implied listing gain of more than 70%. And this is exactly the kind of number that creates FOMO, frustration, and rushed applications. But smart investors don't stop at GMP headlines. Bharat Coking Coal was incorporated in 1972 and is a fully owned subsidiary of Coal India. The company operates 34 mines across Jharkhand and West Bengal, including underground, open cast, and mixed mines. Its core product is coking coal, which is critical for steel production. In fact, in fiscal 2025, the company accounted for more than 58% of India's total domestic coking coal production. That kind of dominance explains why this IPO is attracting so much attention. As of April 1st, 2024, the company had estimated coking coal reserves of nearly 7,910 million tons. Production has steadily increased over the years, rising from about 30 million tons in fiscal 2022 to over 40 million tons in fiscal 2025. Financially, for the year ending March 31st, 2025, the company reported total income of around 14,400 crore rupee, with profit after tax of roughly 1,240 crore rupee. These are not weak numbers, and they provide comfort amid the chaos. Now here is the part many retail investors miss while chasing GMP. There is a special 10% shareholder quota in this IPO. Investors who held Coal India shares on or before January 1st, 2026 are eligible to apply under this category. This can significantly improve allotment probability, but it often gets buried under market noise. Retail investors can apply up to 2 lakh rupee, employees up to 5 lakh rupee, and non-institutional investors have separate slabs. Understanding where you fit matters far more than blindly applying everywhere. Quick pause here. If you like decoding IPO stories beyond panic and rumors, do like, follow, and subscribe. We post such real market stories every day, so you don't have to depend on noise for decisions. One more layer investors should not ignore is the government angle. This IPO is part of a broader disinvestment plan where the government aims to list all Coal India subsidiaries by the financial year 2030. That means this listing is not an isolated event. It's part of a long-term strategy, and markets are factoring that in. So what's the real takeaway? GMP creates excitement, but allotment strategy creates the edge. Most retail investors focus on listing gains and ignore structure, quotas, and timing. That's why frustration sets in later when expectations don't match outcomes. The real question is not whether the stock lists higher. The real question is whether you understood why the market is excited and where most people are blindly following the crowd. And that difference often decides who feels smart on listing day and who feels late. End thought for today. In IPOs, clarity always arrives after the noise settles. The trick is deciding before that happens.